Hello everyone. Hope you're having an amazing day. In today's video we're gonna look at discourse analysis. This video is dedicated to S4 and S6 Moroccan students. What is discourse analysis? It is difficult to give a simple definition of discourse analysis as a research method. Discourse analysis can be characterized as a way of approaching and thinking about a problem. Discourse analysis is neither a quantitative nor a qualitative research method, but a manner of questioning the basic assumptions of quantitative and qualitative research methods. By enabling us to make these assumptions explicit, discourse analysis aims at allowing us to view the problem from a higher stance and to gain a comprehensive view of the problem and ourselves in relation to that problem. Discourse analysis will enable us to reveal the hidden motivations behind a text or behind the choice of a particular method of research to interpret that text. Discourse analysis is nothing more than a deconstructive reading and interpretation of a problem or text. Discourse analysis is the examination of language use by members of a speech community. Discourse analysis involves looking at both language form and language functions and includes the study of both spoken interaction and written text. Discourse analysis identifies the linguistic features that characterize different genres as well as social and cultural factors that aid in our interpretation and understanding of different texts and types of talk. Discourse analysis is a research method for studying written or spoken language in relation to its social context. It aims to understand how language is used in real-life situations. Conducting discourse analysis means examining how language functions and how meaning is created in different social contexts. It can be applied to any instance of written or oral language, as well as nonverbal aspects of communication such as tone and gestures. A discourse analysis of written texts might include a study of topic development and cohesion across the sentences. A discourse analysis of spoken language might focus on these aspects in addition to turn-taking practices, opening and closing sequences of social encounters, or narrative structure. Discourse analysis takes different theoretical perspectives and analytic approaches: speech act theory, interactional sociolinguistics, ethnography of communication, pragmatics, conversation analysis, and variation analysis. Although each approach emphasizes different aspects of language use, they all view language as social interaction. Discourse analysis is the linguistic analysis of naturally occurring connected spoken or written discourse. Discourse analysis attempts to study the organization of language above the sentence/clause level, and, therefore, to study larger linguistic units such as conversational exchanges or written texts. Discourse analysis is also concerned with language use in social contexts, and in particular with interaction or dialogue between speakers. Discourse is not produced without context and cannot be understood without taking context into consideration. Discourses are always connected to other discourses which were produced earlier, as well as those which are produced synchronically and subsequently. In other words, language does not have a fixed, objective meaning, but is colored by a whole range of situational factors, the author's belief system, Unlike linguistic approaches that focus only on the rules of language use, discourse analysis emphasizes the contextual meaning of language to which the person belongs, which will have its own jargon, as in medical or legal, as well as the immediate situation in which the words were uttered. It focuses on the social aspects of communication and the ways people use language to achieve specific effects, e.g., to build trust, to create doubt, to evoke emotions, or to manage conflict. Instead of focusing on smaller units of language, such as sounds, words, or phrases, discourse analysis is used to study larger chunks of language, such as entire conversations, texts, or collections of texts. The selected sources can be analyzed on multiple levels. Such language in social contexts has different forms that vary according to function. According to the speech event equals sermon or lecture. According to the speech act equals informing or questioning. According to the intended addressee equals child versus adult. Now let's move to discourse analysis and sociolinguistics. Sociolinguistics will have to be based, at least partly, on analyses of how people actually talk to each other in everyday settings, e.g., streets, restaurants, buses, trains, schools, doctors' surgeries, factories, and homes. Sociolinguistics will have to incorporate analyses of how conversation works, how talk between people is organized, what makes talk coherent and understandable, How people introduce and change topics. How they interrupt, ask questions, and give or evade answers. In general, how the conversation flow is maintained or disrupted. Terminology, text versus discourse. One written text versus spoken discourse. Discourse implies interaction discourse. Text implies non-interactive monologue. Two discourse implies length, whereas a text may be short, e.g., exit or no smoking. Widowson 79 Explorations in Applied Linguistics. Distinguishes textual cohesion, recognizable in surface lexis, grammar, and propositional development. Discourse coherence, which operates between underlying speech acts. The distinction between surface cohesion and underlying functional coherence is an important one, but clearly these can operate in a given text or discourse. Van Dyke 77 Text and context. Longman uses the term text to refer to an abstract theoretical construct, which is realized in discourse. Text equals discourse, and sentence equals utterance. Discourse analysis is used to refer both to the study of language above the clause and also to the study of naturally occurring language.